Thank you for joining our next edition of MWC Shorts. I'm joined by Romil Bal, the CEO of Core, who's going to be talking about in-vehicle video steering and safety. Romil, welcome. Over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Karen. Pleasure to be here. Let's get right into this. I've got two sort of simple agenda items or objectives for today. I'd like to provide a quick introduction of Core, an overview of how we think of ourselves in the IoT ecosystem, especially with this exciting next decade where hopefully IoT will come out of the hype stage it's stayed in too long and add these billions and tens of billions of devices that everybody's been talking about for a while now. And then to sort of help make that real, help make our value proposition real and our positioning in the ecosystem real, we'll talk about this specific industry use case that you mentioned and sort of showcase how we continue to drive value and really increasing levels of value for managers of fleets, which is our largest industry globally. So Core is a global leader in IoT with almost 12 million subscribers today globally and over 6,000 customers. We think of what we do as deploy, manage, and scale IoT deployments for customers, right? So whatever your use case is, whatever you happen to call it, I know my friends in the connected health space don't even think they're an IoT, for example, but we help you securely, confidently scale because we bring together a whole series of services and solutions. And so that is indeed how we do it. It's not just connectivity. Of course, without connectivity, you can't have anything, but it's also solutions and analytics. So with that introduction, let me actually click into one more page, one more sort of layer of the onion here on what Core does. On the connectivity front, it's important to remember that we aren't just providing traditional SIMs and traditional local connectivity in the 190 countries we can connect you in. We also are an independent eSIM leader, right? EUICC everywhere. We believe that that is the future. We also integrate location-based services naturally into our connectivity and provide advanced connectivity, core networking, and sort of MVNE types of services. On the solutions and services side, right from strategy and security, and yes, security we think of right up front, designing security in, all the way through to the analytics you need. We provide a series of managed services, either ourselves or in conjunction with partners, thereby helping you, succeed and get an ROI. And finally, from an analytics standpoint, we are doing more and more with really all three kinds of data, and you're going to actually see that in the use case, so I'll save us some time there. So let's get to this use case. The in-vehicle video context is right there on the screen, right? I mean, it is incredible that when you see these statistics, that 90% of rear-end crashes could be avoided. With a scanned 1 second or 1.5 second pre-warning, those could be avoided. Of course, speed causes a lot of our problems. Texting makes you 23 times more likely to crash, and on and on and on. And for fleet managers, this has been an area of concern, an area of growing concern, right? As fleet management has moved from the basics of just dots on the map and knowing where their trucks were, which is where, Core was one of the pioneers in fleet management early on, to then moving through all of the regulatory and compliance issues of logging electronically the driver's hours and making sure they're getting enough rest and all those sorts of things, to now geofencing and advanced analytics. And so that's what we're going to look at. But just a quick view on the challenges for fleet managers. I'm not going to read these bullets to you. You can read them quicker than I can. But these are the things they're worried about, right? Keeping people safe, thereby managing their costs and the increases in these insurance premiums. And obviously, more and more using the right video solutions to help augment everything else these fleet managers have done. So clicking on quickly, these are the benefits we're looking for, right? Reducing the frequency of the incidents, obviously, reducing overall insurance costs, also reducing claim times, claim life cycles, maximizing one's duty of care, more effective training in a continuous loop of getting better and better. And this is a bit of an eye chart, but I want to make one point on this chart, which is that our in-vehicle video solution integrates all of these systems to one screen, right? We compress the data so that it can actually get to you and use it, but it is on one screen, one platform, and that is a huge benefit to fleet managers. And now to my analytics point, right? So I think of advanced analytics, and yes, that includes machine learning and artificial intelligence for those of us that prefer those buzzwords, as going through these sort of three stages, right? So descriptive is just telling us what's happened. Predictive is what might be likely to happen. And then all the way up to prescriptive, which is, hey, you should probably do this if this happens, right? Or do that if this other thing happens. And that's essentially what we're trying to do with data. Now, there's three kinds of data, right? There's usage data, metadata, camera data. In this case, it's camera data because we're talking about a video solution, but it's really sensor data or payload data. It's the data you're actually deploying IoT for. We at Core use all three of those. We, of course, use usage data for billings and overages and threshold management, warning you that you're going over data, that sort of thing. We use the metadata for all kinds of network intelligence and security insights, device troubleshooting. And finally, we use your sensor data to give you better and better insights. Now, again, in this case, we're moving our fleet managers from a place of what's already happened to predicting what might happen, all the way to now actually prescribing which drivers are the best for which routes or for which weather patterns. And that is an incredible value add for our fleet management customers. I hope that's a little bit of insight into both in-vehicle video and also Core and how our connectivity solutions and analytics can combine to create powerful value in the world of IoT. Thank you very much.